On this episode of BOI Weekly, we will take you to Owerri, where Vinyl Aluminium Manufacturing Company operates from, one of the companies supported by the Bank of Industry. The company makes high-quality aluminium roofing sheets, step tiles, and also building accessories. The managing director of the company, Augustine Uzwagba, talks about his business and how the Bank of Industry has helped with funding. Plus, 72-year-old Peter Ogbunike, who runs a plastic manufacturing company in Onitsha, is also a beneficiary of funds from the Bank of Industry. Their stories in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
Agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes, and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
"72-year-old Peter Ogbunike is the CEO of Peters and Daniels Plastic Manufacturing Company. The company makes solely plastic packaging for pharmaceutical companies and clothing hangers. Mr. Ogbunike started his business more than 15 years ago as a trader. He buys plastic containers from pharmaceutical companies in Lagos and takes them to the southeast to sell.
After about 5 years of trading on it, I now decided to go into the full production of plastic manufacturing. In the course of doing that, I started with buying molds. There's things we call molds. I started buying the molds. I bought in that year, 2004. I have no machines. We go for what we call contract production. We meet people who has machineries. We give them our molds, and they produce for us, and we pay them, while we now supply the industry. So after about 5 years, or less than 5 years, we started thinking of doing the production ourselves. We started buying the machines, though fairly used then. We started buying the fairly used ones. We started producing. It was really moving.
As the demand for plastic packaging for pharmaceutical products increased, there was pressure to meet up with supply.
We needed more machines because we had more customers. Then we approached the BOI Anambra State government for loan. Initially, when we go to other commercial banks, their interest rates are very high, say about 27–28%. But when we approached the BOI the Anambra State government, the interest rate was a little bit considerable, 10%. So they gave us 2 machines last year. They commissioned it. We started producing.
The manufacturing process of plastic packaging is quite simple, provided the right machine is used.
Raw materials are like this. You go down now, you will see that we buy them locally from Indorama LMA Petrochemical, made in Nigeria. That's where we source our raw material. And this raw materials goes through the hopper. When it goes through the hopper, It now melts in the barrel. We call this barrel. It melts and goes through the barrel. As it goes through the barrel, it comes here, it melts and gets into the mold. When it goes into the mold, as the mold closes, it will now inject. As it injects, it will now form this plastic container that will drop on its own. Now it is dropping. Good. So when it drops together with the waste, because these ones are waste that we can recycle in the near future. We can use them for plastic hangers. And this material are purely virgin because they use it for pharmaceutical packaging because it is edible. So we don't use recycled materials for these products because they are purely for pharmaceutical packaging.
In this business, nothing is left to perish. The waste from the production process of the pharmaceutical packaging is taken through the crusher and converted into pellets. These are then reused for the production of hangers.
The plastic hangers, we use the recycled materials. That is more reason why most of our materials, we don't have waste. The runners we have in our product, we now recycle them, put them through here, where it goes the same process to make the cloth, plastic cloth hangers. And they are already made in Nigeria. So we didn't say made in Africa and in China also. We really have that in our business, made in Nigeria. We were in Abuja sometime last year to showcase our products at the presidential villa. I showcased this plastic cloth hanger. He saw it and said the cloth hangers are very beautiful. But the problem he has is that here is so narrow that big jeans could not get into it. So when I saw it, after about 2 months, I traveled again to make a new one, now to make a very good clearance so that I can have enough competition for more jeans. You can pack 2-3 jeans here. Unlike this one that is so narrow that you cannot pick up 2 or 3 jeans. So I've corrected that now. And I'm proud of that because it's marketable right now.
Coming up on BOI Weekly.
In my 3rd year, we courtesy of strike, I found myself staying outdoor at home. And I said, okay, rather than whiling away my time at home, I should go and learn something. So I had to go and learn this roofing technology, aluminum roofing technology.
And that decision birthed Vinyl Aluminium Manufacturing Company Limited, located in Owerri and Port Harcourt, proudly supported by the Bank of Industry.
The agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Vinyl Aluminium Manufacturing Company is located in Owerri at Kilometer 2, Owerri-Onitsha Road, and in Port Harcourt at Kilometer 17, Aba Expressway, Port Harcourt in Rivers State. The company is into the manufacturing of high-quality aluminium sheets, roofing sheets, step tiles, and building accessories. It was incorporated in 1996 and run by the Group Executive Director, Augustine Izuagba, a graduate from the University of Nsukka. He tells us why he chose the business.
In my third year, courtesy of strike, I found myself staying outdoor at home. And I said, okay, rather than whiling away my time at home, I should go and learn something. As if I know that this country is drifting towards a situation where you have to be self-reliant. You don't have to depend on government to give you a job or anywhere. So I had to go and learn this roofing technology, aluminum roofing technology, for a few months of that strike. And we started from there with a small shop at Olu in this Imo State as well. So just like the child's play, it started growing. We started running around for the business with motorcycle, because this business has stages. If you're starting from the scratch, as mean you don't have money to establish a factory, you start from the scratch by being a subcontractor. Maybe if you see where they're building a house, you go to the site, meet with the owner or the engineer who is the main contractor, ask him to give you a job. If eventually after considering the tenders they have, and they find your own interesting, they'll give you the job. So just like that was the way we started.
With resilience and determination, the business began to boom and add value to the economy.
It took us 3 years to complete the factory structure. That will tell you the kind of savings and the kind of resilience, we allowed to come into we allowed, because we had a focus and we had a place where edging towards, so we had to allow a good level of prudence to come into our spending. We were managing ourselves with the motorcycle, small car, just like that, to make sure we're able to save some money to get this to the level. So we had to build the factory, then equip it with machines. We started with 2 machines.
Elated Augustine Izuagba recalls how he engaged the Bank of Industry and how the support he received has boosted his business.
The very first time we approached Bank of Industry was in 2011. Early 2014, I got a call because we have lost hope. I was happy. Life came into me again. I said, but within myself, I said, is this thing not just swallowing away of time? Could this thing be possible? That we meant to understand that securing BOI fund is only meant for the bourgeois. Sometimes I'll call them, I said, I'll ask them, this thing you're doing, can't we give you some tips to do it? Because they said they give tips to BOI people, that you have to spend some money to get it. The man will tell me, no, if anybody has to give him money, that person is a dupe. They don't give money because your money will not accelerate anything. Your money will not change anything. The thing will have to go through the normal process for approval. So money will never jump any stage of approval for you. So why do you have to waste your money? I still said, in Nigeria, is this still possible in this country? And finally, I got that money without spending 1 naira. So I'm so happy for BOI. And now we have procured the machines. We have started using them. They are working.
Metal roofing is the most common type of roofing in this part of the world. It is more affordable, very durable in cold weather, and made from a high percentage of recycled material, which are 100% recyclable. The use of aluminium as a roofing metal is always a better option for many building projects since it resists corrosion and requires little maintenance. Aluminium also tends to reflect heat better than steel, thus keeping a house cooler during the summer. Aluminium roofs will last about 35 years. Aluminium production starts with the raw material bauxite, a clay-like soil type found in a belt around the equator. It is mined from a few meters below the ground. The bauxite is then transported to plants where the clay is washed off and the bauxite passes through a grinder. Alumina, or aluminium oxide, is extracted from the bauxite through refining. During this process, alumina is separated from the bauxite by using a hot solution of caustic soda and lime. The mixture is heated and filtered, and the remaining alumina is dried to a white powder. Next up is the metal plant, where the refined alumina is transformed into aluminium. Then companies like vinyl aluminium manufacturing can use them to make other products.
We are on the second phase of aluminium processing, aluminium roofing sheet processing. The first stage is the procurement of aluminium ingots. Aluminium pigs, they are in pellets form. You melt them through the process called smelting. You smelt them, produce them into flat sheets, aluminium coils. So that is what we call, in that process, it's called aluminium smelting plants, which is what we used to have those days at Ekerobas. They have Ekerobas, they mine and they smelt as well. Then companies like First Aluminium, Tower Aluminium, they have what we call rolling mill. They roll it into coils. So our own stage is the conversion, is getting the coils and converting it from that coil sheet into a finished product of roofing sheets. This is the factory. There are two stages of production here. This area is used for the production of step-tie roofing sheets, while the other area is for the production of regular roofing sheets and the production of the flashings. They call the trimmings. These are the raw materials. They come in this form before they are processed and it comes out as a roofing sheet. As you can see, they are coupling it. They are coupling it in a coil roller where it will be fixed on the rolling machines, which will eventually produce it into roofing sheets.
The forklifter loads the binded aluminium sheets onto the roller. The roller then feeds the corrugating machine where it is being shaped into predetermined designs. Corrugation is carried out through the process of roll forming, and roll forming is a continuous bending operation in which a long strip of sheet metal is passed through sets of rolls mounted on consecutive stands, each set performing only an incremental part of the bend until the desired cross-section profile is obtained. This modern process is highly automated to achieve high productivity and low cost associated with labor. After the sheet metal passes through the rollers, it is automatically sheared off at a desired length. The standard shape of corrugated material is the round wavy style, but can be easily modified to a variety of shapes and sizes.
What the young man here is doing is to key in the lengths of the roofing sheets to various lengths of the building. You know, as sizes of buildings vary, so their lengths of the roof varies as well. So he is keyed it in here so that the production is a computerized one. Once he has said it is auto, it will start producing without anybody going there to do anything on it. So it produces all the lengths for a particular building after keying in. So that's what he's doing. The production here is slower because it takes a lot of designing processes to get the roofing sheet out. It is unlike the normal roofing sheets that moves freely. This one has to design the roofing sheet stage by stage, length by length, to get them out as a finished product.
The spiral step tower roofing sheet also goes through the same process, but with a different pre-programmed design. On the other side of the factory, the popular roofing sheets are produced using the same raw materials, but a faster process.
This machine is quite different from the first two machines that we have visited. This machine is called the regular roofing sheet producing machine. It produces the regular roofing sheet that is commonly known by everybody. The production processes are quite easier, and they are easier to install up there. The finished products. It is commonly used by virtually everybody in Nigeria who builds houses. Nevertheless, the same raw materials are still being employed on this machine.
And finally to the finishing section, where the trimmings, roof gutters and badge boards, among others, are made.
This is the last stage of our production, where we produce the flashings, the trimmings. All these long sheets you see here are meant to add a finishing touch to a building. And if you roof a house without the application of these materials you see here, the building is not yet finished. So this is meant to add a finishing touch to the building, where it will look good and look beautiful.
Another exciting part of this business is that there are no wastes. What is considered byproducts are used for the production of building accessories like nails, hooks and felts. The soft aluminium sheets are punched into flat pellets, so also is the soft patterns, which are then stringed together to make hooks. And in the case where there are more leftovers, they are sold as scraps for further recycling process. The future for this business definitely is limitless.
If we have more partnership from government, just like we have from the BOI, we intend to go into other areas of roofing products.
Agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Now, we encourage you to log on to boinigeria.com or visit any of the BOI offices closest to you for suitable funding options. That will be all on the program today. Thank you for watching. I am Adeshewa Josh.